Uh, oh, that's a toss of a coin now. Um, are All Ireland finals a place for 70% players? And would would anyone else on the squad be happy if someone went in at 70%, considering that the talent that's there and the work rate that's required? No, if he could go in at 100% for 70% of the game, there's a different scenario. Yes, I would start him. But if he was only 70% fit, I wouldn't think so. No, you have two other scenarios, Jack, as well. One is they called it very early that he'd be out for the semi-final. If he was out for the final, would they have called it as well? Who knows? But look, it's given. I guarantee you, it's given Derek Ling a headache because he doesn't know if his centre forward is going to be marked probably up closer by Will O'Donoghue or whether his centre forward is going to be picked up by one of the Limerick midfielders because Declan will be sitting back. So I suppose, why would you be telling them all cute Kilkenny cats anything coming up? Because I can guarantee you one thing, in their heyday, and even still now, you wouldn't hear a whole pile back out of them.
Yeah, 100%.
I
Nicky,
have a car Jack ordered from Dave Buggy down in Kilkenny, and I was supposed to be picking it up the 1st of July. I still haven't got a phone call. So I don't know, is he playing tactics as well? He's waiting so that he thinks Kilkenny will win, that he'll have a cut off me when I go down for it.
Yeah,
I know him fairly well, Joe. I get my cars off him as well, so I'll have a word with him later for you to say that you called him out publicly on the airwaves.
Exactly. I'd say he's holding on to Nicky to have a cut off me next week if Kilkenny win.
Yeah, we'll get your car sorted anyhow. We'll get Sunday sorted first, Joe. We'll get the car then. But Nicky is
tactics, Joe.
It's a strange thing to say, but will Kilkenny be targeting that centre back area regardless of who's there? You know, if it's Declan, he won't have had that match experience semi-final. If it's Will, he doesn't have much inter-county experience. He's plenty with the Pearshig, but could you see Kilkenny maybe putting a shooter there, like Tipperary have done with Jason Ford, telling him to drop off whoever the centre back is and try and score from deep?
I'm not sure they'll tactically target whoever is in that position. I think, in fairness, Kilkenny will. I think when it comes to things like that, I think it is how they're going to play as a unit in the forwards. I mean, clearly, any of the Kilkenny forwards, to be honest about it, if they're given space, as Joe's alluded to there with Declan Hannon, where he sits back in the pocket and gives a bit of space, any of the Kilkenny forwards are capable of popping over points. It doesn't matter which of them it is. They're all good enough at that, and they've shown that in the past. So, look, games take on a trend. I think, Jack, the issue here is that, look, the game will start off probably at a frenetic pace on Sunday, and the teams will get a couple of scores, or somebody will get a goal or two, and it could put one side on the back foot, and suddenly the game takes on maybe a different persona. So you just don't know. That's what the job of the selectors will be on both sides, to have in the back of their mind, if certain strategies develop during the course of the game that's impacting their team, that they have to kind of change plans, or whatever would that be. They will have gone through all of this scenario well over the last number of months as they faced into the championship, to be honest about it. But I don't think Kilkenny will deliberately target any particular player, to be honest about it, because I think all of the Limerick players in their own individual way are simply very, very good players, that I think, you target one guy and take your eye off another guy and you're just going to be snookered. So I think you have to have a tactic for the whole team, and you have to have a tactic for the strategy that Limerick will deploy. For example, Darragh O'Donovan heading off out on the wing to pick up the ball coming out of defence, and his defenders know exactly where he's going to be. Now there's a tactic for Kilkenny there to not give him that amount of space to be getting that ball, and that goes back to what we said earlier. Kilkenny defenders and midfielders, Kilkenny attackers and midfielders becoming defenders when they have to be, and doing that a lot more.
Yeah, it's an interesting point.